let's pivot a little bit to Purdue, because you said something interesting there, Carter. You would have expected Purdue to find a way to get the stops that they needed to get. I think if you're going to make an argument on why this Purdue team cannot win a national title, it's because of the issues that they have on the defensive end of the floor. Right now, after that performance, they are ranked number 70 on KenPom's adjusted defensive efficiency metric. That's not going to be good enough. They're not quite what Iowa was last season, but they're giving off some slight Iowa Hawkeyes 2020, 2021 vibes to me. So how can they get better defensively? Because right now that's their biggest issue. Am I right, Carter?
Yeah, it's kind of surprising because I think that they should be a lot better with the type of athletes that they have on the floor. Now, you have guys like Edey and Travion, not necessarily, guys you look to like kind of switch on defense, but look, they can clog up space in the middle. Jaden Ivey is an unbelievable athlete. I think he has a whole nother level he can tap into defensively with the wingspan he has, and the athleticism, the intensity he has. Guys like Hunter, Thompson, they get up in you. I think they should be better defensively. It's kind of a little perplexing that they're not better defensively, which is why I said before, like, it was very surprising to see a Matt Painter coach team with the kind of defensive ability that they can have come out there and put a performance up like this against a team in Wisconsin who, at the end of the day, they're Johnny Davis, and then you get something else from the other guys, but they are by no means an offensive powerhouse. So, you let them come into your house and put up 70-something high 70s in points. It's not a good sign moving forward.
I thought we saw the writing on the wall with the NC State game. I mean, I thought that's what NC State did. They just had better athletes, particularly on the perimeter. I mean, they're big, but one of the issues they're going to have with that too is that you're going to either play Williams or you're going to play Zach. Travion, one of those guys you're going to have to. You can't play them together. So of your three best players, you're going to have two of them. They just kind of flip flop. You're going to have one or the other. So unless they plan on going zone, which they're not going to do much of. And even still, I don't know how you're going to get athletic, more athletic during the course of the year when two of your best players are your bigs, and they just play they kind of sub each other in and out. They're not playing together on the floor. So I don't know how you get better with that. I mean, you're going to hedge ball screens. You're not going to. You're going to play in drops. You're not going to hedge. You can switch a little bit more with Williams on the floor, but again, if they're going to take a step, again. Jaden Ivey can't allow another guard to go for 37 against them with his athletic ability.
Yeah, there has to be some pride there, right? That says, I'm going to win this matchup one-on-one. You could be as good of an athlete as you want to be. If you don't have that, if you don't want to be the guy that gets to stop every single possession, that's something that's not going to work. But I think the other issue that they have is their point guard play is just not. Like, it's not, I don't want to hammer these guys too hard, but it's not the level that you would want it to be. The issue, we kind of touched on this a little bit. I can't remember if we said it on air or not, but like Jaden Ivey is a guy that just wants to go, right? He doesn't really stop and process what he's looking at. He's going to get the ball and he's going to try to go to the rim and he's going to try to go make a play, which is great when you're getting up and down in transition and you can kind of play in the open floor. When you get into the half court, you can't really do that. You kind of have to have a sense of what you're driving into, where this offense is going to be in front of you. There was one play that sticks out in my mind. He ran off that double screen on the baseline, gets the ball in the corner, drives to the baseline again, and tries to throw a pass to Zach Edey, but those are like 90 miles an hour with Zach Edey about 3 feet away from him, and it almost hit him in the face. And like you can't do that. If you're Jaden Ivey, you have to have a better feel for what is happening in that moment. And to me, that's the biggest issue. When things kind of get to a possession where they can't get something out of their offense, who's going to step up and make that play? And Jaden Ivey has to be that guy. And Carter, to date, he hasn't really done that as consistently as we would like.
Yeah, like you said, you love a player who at all times is playing extremely hard and going full speed, but that's not always what you need to do, especially down the stretch of the ball game. It's not all just go, head down. And Purdue would really benefit. We're not even asking for just like some unbelievable point guard play, just something steady. I can't really point to what Purdue's point guards actually, do very well. They do like little things here and there, but they don't really do one thing particularly well. And it'd be great if you could just throw it to them and they could be a guy who could slow the offense down, get things in order, because Jaden Ivey, like you said, is always just 100 miles an hour all the time. But the only thing they can do to slow their offense down is throw it in the post. So basically, you slow Jaden Ivey down, they're just going to throw it in the post. There's no other type of offense outside of that. And also you have a dynamic guard like Jaden Ivey, and you can't trust him with the ball down the stretch because he's going too fast, and that hurts him.
Yeah, and look, they get a lot of stuff out of the sets that they run, but it's also the kind of thing where if you're switching, and we've seen this with teams in the past, where if you're switching, you can kind of take them out of their sets and take them out of what they can scheme and the shots that they're able to create out of just running offense, RC, then you kind of run into a little bit of an issue where you don't have someone that you just kind of give it to and say, go make a play.
But I think that's when Travian gets going, because he's the guy that punishes the mismatch, right? So when you start switching, I think tonight we saw Zach playing and he was going well. He had a double-double tonight. He had it going. But Williams would be the guy that punishes the switches. So then when you got a guard on him, he's a really good passer. So he's passing it out of the double teams, and they're looking for that. So I think that's the weapon, and that's how they're going to attack the teams that switch on. I mean, he can be a matchup nightmare. I'll come to the defense of their point guard play, though. I think it's hard for the point guards to be so actively involved because this team plays inside out. And we just talked about Jaden Ivey not being necessarily a great passer, and it can be a little bit out of control. I think some of it with Thompson and those guys coming in, that's their job, just to slow down, get us in the offense. Don't turn it over, because they can ill afford to get into turnovers and get into an up and down game because that's not their strength. Now, you would want them to maybe to be a little bit aggressive, pushing it in transition, but they don't have it. I think that's what they're doing. They're not getting enough volume and usage to be really effective in his offense. I think their job is to say, hey, throw the ball inside to Williams, throw it, Ivy, you come off, you go make a play, and just kind of play off those guys. And that's hard to do.
Yeah, and to your point, if Wisconsin is able to, if Purdue is able to slow down Johnny Davis, then their offense doesn't matter in this game. They did everything else they needed to do defensively, except stop the guy that went for 37 and had 25 in the second half.